Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest book never published. The podcast where we read the greatest book never published. I am Nim.
And I am Nate the Great.
So when I was a young lad of 13 years old, roughly, I wrote a book. And this is it. So if you want to hear the rest of it, listen to the previous two episodes. This is before you listen to this, so you'll get the full context. So we're going into reading chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. So chapter 5 is told from the perspective of Jameson Thompson. So it's not like always equal. So it's not like always Zach.
Yeah. Not always equal.
Not always Zach, Jameson, Nate, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of switches up a little. Each time we will get one from each though. Okay. It does kind of, or it does. I remember when I wrote it, I tried to specifically make it like that. So this is told from Jameson Thompson's perspective, chapter 5. I wish the chapters had chapter titles. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a fun way to name the title of the episodes of the podcast too. Jameson Thompson. I just left the hospital and I decided to head over to Dad's lab. What I tell you, they're all gonna go to Dad's lab.
Yep.
I will get there later than I wanted to, but tomorrow is Saturday, so I can stay up late if I have to.
Yep.
That is the fun thing about Saturdays. Dad called me and said there was something he had to show me that I would want to see. I am now at the building where his lab is, which is a small gift shop. It is about 10:45, so I should have time. I walk into the building and walk up to the front desk where a man stands. He looks to be about 40 years old. He has a scar running down the side of his face and short gray hair. There's something strange about him. Something creepy. Ooh, something about the way he looks at me. It seems like I've seen him somewhere, which is odd because this is the first time I've ever seen him. See, I feel like I need to be in the frame a little more. Because this is the first time I've ever seen him working here. What do you want, kid? He says in a low voice. Oh, what do you want, kid? An I Heart New York t-shirt. No, sir, I say. I am here to see my dad. Okay, I don't know if I can do that voice every time. He said he had something to show me. And who is your dad? John Thompson. You must be Jameson. Your father's been expecting you. Aren't you a little late, though? Yeah, I had a little trouble with some gangsters.
It's been most of our life.
Watch him describe the whole story again.
Yeah, so we got
So I showed up.
My
and
brother
Zach
was
was fighting
all these
7 of them were already on the ground. And the one said he was going to pound me. He's like, whoa. We got to catch these guys. That guy was going to pound a 15-year-old. Okay. So I've heard. You have permission to go to your father's lab now. I start walking down his lab. Toward his lab. I start walking toward his lab. I can't read sometimes. Which is on the other side of a door, which behind the counter. I open the door and walk in. I see my dad sitting at a table, doing something with some sort of chemical. All around in this room are weapons, electronics, and test tubes filled with chemicals. Usual CIA scientist stuff. That's not what it says. That's just what I said. Just to clarify, that wasn't in the words in the book. He has thick brown hair that is a little messy right now. He is about average height and is wearing a lab coat. He has a very, again, like just describing somebody, like straight up. Like, that's not the best way. Like,
Wait, you just like skipped a paragraph.
no, I didn't. Wait, what? Oh, I did skip a paragraph.
That's pretty important.
Okay, as my dad turns his chair around, he sees me. He says, "Hey, Jameson, I'm glad you're here. It was so late, I thought you wouldn't even come. I heard about your run-in with those gangsters. Are you okay?" See, before I was referring to them as gang members. Now I'm referring to them as gangsters. I changed how I refer to them. I mean, same thing, but yeah, I've just changed my wording.
Mm-hmm.
He has thick brown hair that is a little messy right now. He's about average height and is wearing a lab coat. He has a very charming look on his face with an awesome smile. I don't know why, but for some reason he always seems happy. I love being around him. He just makes me feel happy for some reason. Because he's your dad, I guess. So he has a good relationship with his dad, but Zach said he like never hangs out with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're opposites. Zach doesn't
Opposites.
have a good relationship with his dad. Jameson does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm fine, I say. You said you had something you wanted to show me? Yeah, I do. Come over here and look at this. I walk over and look at what he was looking at when I came in. It is a test tube with some sort of greenish, yellowish liquid in it.
Why is it always green? Greenish.
Why is it always green? That's why the text on the front is green
Oh.
for the title.
Okay. Makes sense.
What is it? I ask him. Dad explains that it is a chemical that was found in a meteor that hit Earth a few months ago. When you don't know how to describe how to explain where something came from, it just came from a meteor. It's like at the beginning of Spider-Man 3 when the goo just falls from space. It's like, how do we introduce the Venom into this movie? It just falls from space.
Yep.
Sure.
That works.
That explains that it is a chemical that was found in a meteor that hit Earth a few months ago. He tells me all of the physical properties of the chemical, the ones that he discovered anyway. We have to be extremely careful with this, he says. If we let any of it out of the test tube, it will cause an explosion when it combines with the oxygen in the air.
Oh no.
That's not good.
Oh no.
Has it got like hydrogen in it or something? There's any...
You know how to read?
No. There's another very interesting thing about it. I wanted to know how it would react if exposed to an animal. As you do. I mean, I guess that is what scientists do. They'll be like, oh, expose something to an animal and see what happens. So I took a rat and put it in an airtight room. I let some of this out into the room. It caused an explosion. I expected the rat to be dead when the smoke cleared. But this is what was left. Follow me. Ooh, can you imagine what it is?
I don't know.
We walk out of the room and down a hallway. We walk into a small room off to the side of the hallway. On the other side of the room, there's a cage, which is kind of big for a rat. Look, he says. I look closely into the cage and see a giant rat. Amazing, I say. Now this is something Nate would like to see. Yeah, because Nate's just that cool.
Yeah, apparently.
You'd like to see a giant rat. Another thing, this rat's skin is so tough that not even a 50 cal sniper rifle could penetrate it.
Whoa. Whoa.
So how big is this rat? Like, how big are we talking? Are we talking like human size? Like, it doesn't say how big. It just says big. Its teeth can bite through a steel bar. So basically that stuff just mutated it. It infected it. So I decided to call the stuff the infection. Title
That's
drop.
the title of the book.
Title drop. So the stuff is called the infection. And yeah, it's called the infection. So, did you like what I had to show you? Yeah, I say in amazement. The most amazing experiment I've ever seen. Although I'm still not sure what effect the infection will have on people. And there's no humane way to test that.
Huh.
I bet we're never going to find out how it affects people.
No. They'll probably just
That's just
continue
this
living
was
normally.
well, no, this was just like a random scene. Like the infection thing is just going to be in this part and nothing else. Like they're never going to test it on humans. They're never going to find out how it affects humans. So we got a mutated rat. We got Master Splinter.
Or an ROUS.
Or an ROUS. Yes.
Rodents of unusual size.
I don't think they exist. Anyways, that was the end of the chapter. So next we have chapter 6, told from the perspective of Nathan Thompson. I left the hospital and went to Abigail's house and told her what had happened. Now I'm on my way to Dad's lab. Jameson said he was going there, so I decided I would go there too. I have nothing better to do. Nothing better to do with your 10 friends.
I don't even have that many friends.
Mr. Popular. He's only lived there. He's only been going to school there for a month, and he has 10 friends.
Jeez.
Mr. Popular. Mr. Popular. I am now there. It is about 11:30. Dad usually comes home at around 12, so I've got half an hour until I'll go home. I walk into the building and see Dad and Jameson standing there talking. Hey, Nate, Dad says. I didn't expect you to come here, too. Well, I say, I had nothing else to do. No one was at home yet, and I didn't want to go to bed because I always try to stay up late on Friday night.
I had to stay up late on Friday night because that's what the cool kids do.
That's what the cool kids do. I could just stay up till midnight. Whoa. Not too late though. You got to get up early enough for Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh yeah, of course. He's probably too old for that. He's probably too cool for those.
Too cool for Saturday. You can't be too cool for Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Those are the best. It's not really a thing now. I think because people don't watch TV anymore.
No.
I walk into the building and see. Oh wait. So I always try to stay up late on Friday night. Come here, Nate. Dad says as he stands up and starts walking down the hall with Jameson following. I have something that you might find interesting. I follow him down the hall and into a small room. On the other side of the room, there's a cage. In the cage, I see this large rodent or something. What is it? I say. It's a mutated rat, Jameson says.
Well, we already know that because we heard that in the last chapter.
It's a lot of repeated information. This is why the whole multiple perspective thing isn't done very often in books.
Yeah.
Especially for people, like, you just end up overlapping information all the time. What is it? I say. It's a mutated rat, Jameson says. Really? I say. That is so cool.
Whoa.
I walk closer to get a better look at it. It is so creepy and awesome at the same time. It just prowls around, staring at us. Probably wanting to kill something. It's kind of like the I wrote R-U-S, not R-O-U-S.
Oh.
It's kind of like the R-U-S from The Princess Bride, if you've ever seen that movie.
If you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch it right now.
It's classic. It's classic. But it's R-O-U-S, not R-U-S. But whatever, I fricked that up. That's okay. So, this is why you've been at work so much, I say. You are creating a mutant rat. What does it eat? Anything it can, Dad says. It can digest almost anything. Whew. So you wouldn't want to end up in the same cage as it, I say. I want to see it kill something and eat it.
Ooh.
You know what I just thought of? If this thing can digest anything and eat anything, then why can't it just eat its way out of the cage?
Hey, it can eat through steel bars, he
It
said.
can eat through steel bars. What's this cage made out of?
Vibranium or something?
Adamantium. I want to see it kill something and eat it. Nate says.
Ooh.
Sure, Dad says. I'll just push this button and drop a rat in there. They're feeding a rat to the giant rat. They're turning it into a cannibal. Oh my
At
gosh.
the click of a button, I can make a rat drop from the ceiling. Beep.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that he has a button that just drops a rat in.
Well, he's a scientist. It's important. You're like, listen, you gotta test this on a rat. Beep.
Okay. Dad pushes the button, rat drops in. As soon as the rat hits the floor, the big rat pounces on it, tears it apart, and eats it.
Ooh. See, you gotta make a movie of this because I want to see that. That sounds cool.
Yeah. That's awesome, I say. We should give him a name. How about Shredder? Not only is it's a mutant rat named Shredder. So it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm. So are the four of them, the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, are they all secretly turtles? The 4 main characters?
Right, and they're gonna get mutated to have powers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are all teenagers.
Yeah.
And they already have a mutant rat named Shredder, although Shredder's the villain. But, that's not... Shredder's not... Splinter is the rat, but, whatever. Still, all from the same thing. How about Shredder? Then Shredder it is, Dad says. You can't name it, Jameson says. It's an experiment, not a pet. What a buzzkill.
Shut up, Jameson.
Dude, this is why he can't get laid. This is why he gets no women.
This is why he has no friends.
This is why he has no friends. This is why he has no women, no friends. It's not because he's a nerd. He just says, it's because I'm nerdy. No, it's because you're
a
buzzkill. Freaking party pooper. Gosh, Jameson. It's an experiment, not a pet. I think naming it is a great idea, Dad says. Before, I didn't know what to call it. Now I'll just call it Shredder. Dad looks at his watch. Look at the time. I'd better leave now. I need some sleep. You guys can stay here and look at Shredder for a while. No one else is here, so you'll have to lock up, Jameson.
Wow.
You let it leave.
Wow.
Leave.
Entrusting 2 teenage boys with your super secret CIA lab stuff.
Where you got this substance that mutated a rat and causes explosions when it contacts the
I'll just
air.
leave these two young teenagers.
You guys can lock up.
You guys can handle this, right? You don't need.
Like the CIA is just okay with this, I guess. I don't know. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Dad walks out the door, so we are left standing here by ourselves. So, I say, what should we do now? What Dad said, Jameson says. Look at Shredder for a while longer. This is a science experimental building for the CIA, I say. There's got to be so much more cool stuff in here. See, this is why you don't leave your teenage boys in the secret science lab. We can't do that, Jameson says. Oh, again, being a buzzkill.
Yeah, come on.
This isn't a fun house. There are some very dangerous things here. That's what makes it fun, Jameson. Yeah. That's what makes it fun. Yeah, I say. Guess you're right. Shredder is cool, but I've already got bored of looking at him. Why don't we just go home? Like 2 seconds ago, he was like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. Look at him tear up that rat. Whoa, his name is Shredder. That's cool. And he's like, I'm bored already.
I'm bored.
It's like 2 minutes later. Not even like, he wasn't even there for like an hour. No, the first like mutant rat that can just... Oh my gosh. Okay, Jameson says, let's go home. We walk out of the room and begin to head towards the exit. End of chapter. 2 chapters down. All right, 2 more to go. Chapter 7. This is told from the perspective of Zach Thompson.
Yep.
I
or
am
Jackie Chan. Freaking beating up everybody.
Yeah, roundhouse kicking him. I already took down 7 guys, so big deal. I've been trained to fight.
I was top of my class.
I was top of my class
Self-defense.
in self-defense. Not in actual school. That's my nerdy brother, Jameson. All right. This is Zach Thompson. I'm running to Dad's lab. I'll have to run fast if I want to get there before he leaves. I'm still thinking about what happened at the orphanage, though. I think I may have lost the only friend I have in the city.
Oh, no.
It'll be hard to make any more friends because all the other kids at school think I'm antisocial. Which is probably true. I guess I'll just move back to Montana after I graduate. I have plenty of friends there. As I approach the building that Dad's lab is in, I see Jameson and Nate starting to walk out the door. Hey, I say, what are you guys doing here? They notice me and Nate says, we were looking at a mutant rat. Shut up, Jameson says. Someone else could have heard you. I don't think we want the public knowing that there's a mutant rat in New York City. Wait, I say, there's a mutant rat? Yes, Nate says quietly as he looks around, making sure no one is listening. Follow us inside and we'll show you. Unlock the door, Jameson. I don't know if we should, Jameson says. You can see it tomorrow. I would actually like to see it now, I say. They're just pushing Jameson around. And Jameson's the brother that nobody likes.
He's the middle child.
He's the middle child. I'd actually like to see it now, I say. Okay, Jameson says as he starts unlocking the door. But we'll have to make it quick. And don't touch anything. As we are walking through the building to where the rat is, I ask, where's Dad? He left about 10 minutes ago, Nate says. We walk down a hallway and open a door on one of the walls. We walk into a small room. On the other end of the room, there's a cage with a creepy, large rodent inside of it. It's got a devilish look in its eyes.
They all have like different ways that they describe it.
Right, so that way it's not like the same description over and over again. Imagine if it was literally the same description over and over again. It has teeth that look like they could bite through anything. Because they can, as we've determined.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck did this happen? I ask. If I explained, you probably wouldn't understand it, Jameson says. Oh my gosh, you're too dumb to understand the science stuff. I don't even care how it happened, Nate said. This thing is awesome. Oh, yeah, did I tell you his name? No, I say. What is the name? Shredder, Nate says. Why is it named Shredder? I ask. You would know if you saw what it did to a rat that it ate, Nate says. Yeah, Jameson says. Now let's leave. We should really be home now. It's already midnight. As we begin to walk out, I suddenly hear something. Stop, I say as the others stop. What was... I can't say anything else because there's suddenly a wall of greenish flames in front of us. It is an explosion of greenish flames.
Oh, no.
What do you think caused the explosion?
Well, it definitely wasn't the infection.
No.
For sure. That was just a random.
We didn't
plot.
set it up as a thing that causes explosions or anything.
Yeah.
No. And they're greenish flames and it's a greenish substance, but no. It's an explosion. I try to run, but we are then consumed by the flames. The last thing I see before I black out is greenish colored flames everywhere.
Oh no.
Chapter 8. This is a fairly short chapter. Okay. We're getting through this one. This is going to be the shortest episode so far.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Richards. This is from Stephen Richards' perspective.
Richards.
Stephen Richards. I'm walking to John Thompson's lab. Again, why does he know where that is? But okay. But I digress. Where I hope I will meet Zach. I have to talk to him. I just don't like the thought of losing my only real friend.
Mm-hmm.
We may not have the same beliefs, but he's the only true friend I've got. I am now walking to the front door of the building where his lab is. It seems like no one is here, but the door is unlocked. I open it, and for some reason, all the lights are off. Who would leave a building and not lock the door? Something isn't right. I walk slowly and quietly so no one will know that I'm here. I walk by a door where I hear voices. They're quiet, so I can't quite make out what they're saying. If I get any closer, they'll know I'm there. So keep walking until I find John's lab. That's odd. The door to his lab is open. I carefully step in. At least there are no voices like in the other room. I notice a dark figure slowly moving around in the room. I walk in a little farther, trying to figure out who it is. I hope this is just a practical joke or something. I hope there's not somebody trying to rob the place.
Oh no.
Then, the door behind me suddenly closes. Locked in the room.
Oh no.
This is where shit gets real. This is where the book really gets going.
Mm-hmm.
I turn around, grab the handle, and try to open it. I can't. It's locked. I reach for the light, but I can't find it in the darkness. I hear a loud noise. At the same exact time, I feel a terrible pain in my side. I begin to fall to the ground. Right before I do, I find the light switch and turn on the light. I hear a loud yell. I look over and see a man standing in the middle of the room wearing black clothes, a black mask, and a night vision goggles. Oh, he's yelling because the light turned on. Night vision goggles, it's like blinds you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Smart.
So that's why he yelled. Night vision goggles aren't made for the light. When I turned it on, his goggles were still on, so it blinded him. Wow. In case the audience
you're a smart
didn't know.
13-year-old.
I had to describe so the audience understood.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to stand up, but because of the pain in my side, I can't. I look down where the pain is and see blood all over it.
Ooh.
I had been shot. he just realized.
Whoa, I've been shot.
Whoa! Oh, that's what that loud noise was. And the pain in my side, it made me fall over.
I thought there was just a door slamming.
Ow!
Ow!
I think a door slammed on my side. I've been shot. I crawl toward the man, pulling myself with my arms. I am now right next to him. He had pulled off his goggles and is slowly regaining his sight. Just as he starts to realize I'm there, I grab his gun and point it at his face. "Who are you? And what are you doing here?" I yell. "I can't tell you that," he says as he crunches something in his mouth. Some white fluid drips out of his mouth. It's one of those pills that spies use to kill themselves before they give away any information. Pretty sure it's called cyanide. It has a name. It's one of those pills.
Yeah, but he's a 17-year-old.
He might not know. He's like, it's like, you know you
see that in the spy movies. They like bite a pill and it like kills them or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's he kicks a table over, then dies. I look up and see a small test tube in the middle of the table fall off and crack open. If you can just kick a table and knock it over that easily, then John Thompson does not know how to keep his stuff very safe. If it's that easy to just kick a table,
there's just a test tube
and
laying
crack,
on the edge of a table.
It's just a test tube just sitting right on the edge, just like hanging right over the edge. Just test tube that causes explosions, when it touches the air. But, it's not very strong glass. So if it hits the ground, it's gonna break. Then the next thing I know, I am consumed in greenish colored flames. Then the only thing I see is darkness. That's the end of that chapter.
So all 4 characters were in the green flame, infection flame. So they're all gonna get superpowers?
Maybe. They're all gonna become...
Maybe it just kills them all.
Probably. That's
the
end of the book. They all died from the greenish
And then
flames.
John Thompson finds out that, his 3 sons and their friend, they're all dead.
So then John
like,
Thompson, to avenge their deaths...
He caused it.
No, it was the guy who kicked the table.
Who's already dead.
He's gonna find out who he was working for.
Oh.
Clearly, because remember, he was like a spy. He's like, I can't tell you who I'm working for. Chomped his cyanide pill. And kicked the table. So then he wants revenge. Wants to avenge their deaths. And he uses his money to become Batman.
Oh.
So John Thompson becomes the superhero. And drinks the infection to get superpowers.
Yeah, that's probably how it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it turns out the infection is super addictive. And it's actually, like, slowly killing him over time. So he has to find a cure for it. I don't know, I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Okay.
I mean, it is an infection.
Sure. Yeah.
Why is this random substance that gives you superpowers called an infection? I don't know. That's a weird name. I just thought it was a cool name, like the infection.
It's kind of cool.
Well, no, you know why I came up with that name, actually? Because I used to play Halo. The infection mode. Infected. The infection. But yeah, so anyways.
Yeah.
Well, seems like our characters are in a pretty sticky situation.
Mm-hmm.
They're, very hot situation because they just blew up in greenish flames.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find out what happens to our characters next.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can't wait, but you gotta wait for the next week. So next week we'll read chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Yep.
Join us next time. Check out my YouTube channel, my YouTube videos. Check out his YouTube channel. Links in the description. His is Nate the Great. Mine is Nim TV. Thank you everyone for listening to this podcast or watching. And goodbye everyone.
Goodbye.